Priests are having sex with children. Catholic priests are violating the trust of children. The Catholic Church is supposed to be an apparatus that takes you from the earth realm to heaven to be with God. They allow people to come into their church, take dry bread, drink cheap wine, take their money, take the children's innocence, and promise them heaven. Now, I wonder, do you understand what's going on in the world? This is Sherry Veronica, Naked Departure Radio, and I could not help but notice that 300 priests were found guilty in Pennsylvania of abusing young children. If you cannot send your children to church without having to worry about an adult priest, someone from the priesthood raping your children, where can you send them? Where? Do you understand the world you're living in? If 300 were found guilty, that means thousands are doing it. Thousands are abusing children. Thousands now, thousands upon thousands in the past, when rape was not even a word that they used when these things happened. Rape could never come from anyone's mouths when a priest in the past violated them. They had to live with it. Thankfully, now, not only are people having a voice, the voice is on the internet. The voice is on social media. Even the children had their voices heard. Parents will live with guilt. Family members will live with the guilt. Members of the church should live with the guilt. You cannot trust anyone. So where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? Are you still going to go to church? Those people don't believe in a God. Those priests, those people who hold on to that Bible really tight grip, they don't believe in God. They don't have no religion. They want your money. They want your sex. They want your adulation. They want you to bow down to them. So what if you were to get smart? What if you people were to get smart and turn away from the church and demand your money back? Do you understand? Can you imagine what a better place this world would be? Especially when the money is given back to the people. The Vatican is probably the richest piece of real estate in the world. Can you imagine getting them out of power? Well, it's not possible. You're not going to do it. You're still going to keep on going to church, aren't you? But just for argument's sake, humor me here for a moment. Let's say that you were to turn away from the church. I mean, in droves, significantly, like almost 100%, turn away from the church. And that money that you gave to the church, you helped your neighbor. You spent it in your community. You rebuild. Make sure the roads are drivable. Make sure the educational system is revamped. Make sure you look to yourselves when you want higher learning. Look to yourselves. Go inside yourselves and look to yourself. Can you imagine what a better world this would be if you got rid of people who think that they have access to God and that you have to come through them to get to the imaginary God? You have to wait to go to heaven to reap your rewards, and they're living fat. It amazes me because it's like people are stupid. And sometimes I wonder if what I hear on the other side of the news, when it says that there's a brainwashing scheme going on. They fly planes in the air and the stuff that comes down, it makes people stupid. It makes you forgetful. I'm forgetful, but I try not to be stupid. If something happens to me of significance, I'll remember it. I'll remember it. It'll never happen to me again. So how do people keep on going to a church when you know that the priests are raping children? If one priest did it, that should be enough. One. How do you keep on going and justifying that? How do you justify it? Oh, it was only one child? Okay. Well, there are thousands now. How do you justify going to a church where the priests who vow celibacy are raping children, violating trust, destroying humans? How do you justify that? It's just something that I needed to come and talk about. I needed to just come and talk about. These things bother me. I know sometimes things have to happen to certain people for them to have empathy, for them to feel any way about it. It doesn't have to happen to me. I can feel what it would feel like if something like that were to happen to me. You can imagine that it wouldn't make you feel good. Cannot make you feel good. So how do you justify going to the church, giving them your money, giving them your respect, having him pray, having the priest pray for you? You're going, what do you go to the church to do when you go into those little booths and the priest is on the other side? A confession. A confession. You're confessing to a priest who's raping children. And that makes sense to you. And that makes sense to a whole lot of people. It is amazing. It's astounding, the world we live in. Like I said earlier on one of my other blogs today, there'll be wars in the world and people go about their lives like nothing is happening. Like nothing is happening in the world. The bomb is not dropping on them. It's not dropping in their country. They don't care. Their families are fine. They have a warm house and they have food. What kind of people are you? What kind of people occupy the earth that there could be major wars and you're not perturbed? It means nothing to you. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Just because it's not in your yard. Yeah, something has got to give. Something has got to give, because people are not good stewards of the earth. You're not doing a good job. You're just not doing a good job. You don't probably deserve to be here. You cannot be deserving. Not that here is all that good. Not that it's that good, but what if you can make it better, leave it in a better place than you found it? Isn't that something that's appealing to you? That does not appeal to any of your senses, leaving something better than you found it? Yeah, so if you haven't heard about the priests who did this horrible thing, you should probably check it out. It's all over the internet. It's all over the place. Check it out, and maybe you'll have a feeling about something. Most people are dead, zombies. But maybe you could have a feeling about something when it comes to children, children being violated. Maybe you could have something inside that can speak to you about that. You can take some sort of action, whether even if it's the way you think, even if it's the way you do things. Maybe if you even don't go to church, you don't have to be going to church, but let's say that you can say something, write something, blog something, give something to the next person you see who's in. Maybe you can just do something when you realize that this world, there's something wrong with this world. There's something wrong with the people who are controlling the world. There's something wrong with our politicians. There's something wrong with the people who are in power. There is something wrong that you remain slaves to these people. There's something wrong. There is something wrong. My name is Sherry Veronica. This is Naked Departure Radio, and I want to thank you for joining me here tonight.